Hi everybody! So it's really happy that I see you again, and we already met each other in our first marathon. However, who doesn't know me, my name is Annakara. I am a permanent makeup artist with already 9 years experience. Today I would like to discuss with you some ombre or powder technique. However, I think it's going to be more for a powder technique. And also I would like to discuss and maybe change your vision about shading strokes, how to do softer transition, and how to make the better brows. Okay, so see you in next video. I'm going to do everything on the latex and I will show you with more details. Let's begin. So I've heard a lot of questions from permanent makeup artists who is using machine for their techniques, for doing their techniques. So what is the speed of your power supply? This is a common question. What I can tell you that it's no universal speed because everybody is different. So let's begin. First of all, you have a different machine. Everybody using different machine. For example, right now I'm going to use Saltera, Cheyenne Saltera, and also different type of needles. So I'm using, let me show you, Quadron company 0.25, one single needle. And another point why it's different, because everybody has a different power supply, has different speed for power supply, yes. And third one, I think it's a speed of movement of your hand. Sometimes people using their hands and working faster than another ones, yes. And also I can tell you that it's really easy to adjust the speed for your machine and for your power supply, yes. So let's try to do it. Let's do it together. As I told you in previous video as well, that is no universal speed, yes. However, it's a universal approach that you can adjust the power supply, your power supply, based on how to fast you move your hand. So let's begin and let's get into this, and I will show you how you can adjust your power supply and machine. Show you for instance, first shaded strokes with a power supply with a speed 6.0. Do you see it? Yeah, you can see it. Okay, let's do this. So I move my machine with my regular movement, speed movement, and I'm doing 1 centimeter. I'm trying to do strokes, shaded strokes in 1 centimeter. So what you can see here, you can see dots, and it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots, and it's between them space more than 1 millimeter. So it doesn't work for your powder technique. So it means that you need to move your hand faster to find the better strokes. Look at this. But it's so fast for my hand and it's uncomfortable, and as well for you. Let's little bit put highest speed in my supply. My regular speed is 7.5 for shading, for powder technique. And I'm going to do it with regular So you can see here this really soft shading. I try to adjust movement my hand and also speed of my power supply. So I have 7.5, and what I see, it's a dots between them, distance between them around 1 millimeter, and also if you count them in one shaded strokes, it's around like from 8 to 12. If you got approximately from 8 dots to 12, that means it will work for your powder technique. Okay, so let's see if I'm going to move my hand faster, what can be happen with the same speed. As you can see, we see lines. We don't need these lines because when it healed, it's gonna look the same with not shaded strokes, but it's going to be lines. And if I'm going to move slow than my regular speed, it's also lines. So guys, I hope you understood how to adjust your machine together with your movement of your hand and also with your power supply, and we can go into our next step, how to shade brows. If your, for example, movement of your hand faster than mine, so that means you need to adjust your supply and make it like less speed. Let's see, so 6.6 for example, 6.5 let's do, and try to so if you compare this one and this one, they are close to each other, but it's uncomfortable for me, but maybe comfortable for you. So girls, long story short, what I can tell you, it's one thing. So you can either adjust your power supply to your hand movement, or you can adjust your hand movement to the power supply. However, it's better to adjust the power supply for your hand movement. I hope you understood. Okay, let's get into the brow technique. Hi everyone! Right now I'm going to share with you a video tutorial about powder brows on latex and about two different techniques. When your hand is in right position and your machine is fully set up, you're ready to start. Let's imagine this is a real person. I'm working on the left brow, that is why I'm sitting to the right side of the person. In our case, a latex mat. First of all, I am doing the shading movements towards me. I gradually start making a pendulum movement from the air and go down until I touch the latex with the needle, and I keep shading. I am starting from the edge point of the tail, trying to spread my shading strokes from the bottom line to the top line. Please keep in mind that our goal is to avoid joints and gaps. It means I make a pendulum movement for the softer result. Every time I start making the movement for the new section in the middle of the previous one. As you can see here, it's important that I'm trying not to do those strokes flat. I keep the natural curve of the brow in the arch area. And please note that I am shading from the bottom to the top. This is why I can control the pressure and make the top area softer. And remember, there shouldn't be any joints, because when your client's brow heals, you will be able to see all of your mistakes. So pendulum movements from the air going down until you touch the latex, and try to keep 90-degree angle of your machine. And every time you have to start making the movement from the new section in the middle of the previous one. This is important to remember. You can ask me about the pressure. I make less pressure as I can. I do airy movements. When I deposit the pigment on the first pass, I'm trying to do less pressure closer to the head area of the brow. I'm cleaning the pigment with Vaseline and baby wipes. When you clean after first pass with your Vaseline or wipe, you will able to see the transparent brow. So it's almost no color, and don't worry about this, it's okay, it's always like this. So you just need to be patient and try to make less pressure. So it doesn't mean that you need to increase your pressure, make it higher. No, it means you just need to do maybe more layers, maybe more passes. By the way, did you know that it's better to work on the latex with mineral-based pigments? However, if you practice with different inks, baby oil will help you with the cleaning. For the second and third layers, we do all the same. In general, you can always try to create your own technique. My principle is to get brows look naturally. If you're gonna be patient and if you follow all the rules that I'm telling you, 90-degree, less pressure, pendulum movements from the air, then it's going to be the perfect result in the end. Try to follow the natural curve of the brow when you're shading on the arch area. Try to do not do that line which is on the bottom, not too sharp. As you can see, the head area looks lighter than the body and tail areas, but the color transition here is very soft. Our next step is to keep following the same principle from the tail to the head. An important notice: in the bridge area you should be making diagonal pendulum movements going from the middle to the top of the eyebrow towards yourself, in case to achieve the powder look. Right now I'm making dots in the head area. It will help me to control the coloring process and make the transition softer. Then I make pendulum movements with minimal pressure at this area. Now I'm going to finish the area that I think are not perfect. Try to maintain your working latex area clean. As you can see, I try to make the bottom area a little bit darker. The most important part at the end of the process is that I am sitting behind the client. In our case, I rotate the latex mat the same way as the head of the client. As you can see here, if you take a look at this brow, you will not see any gaps because pendulum movement, remember 90 degree, and you're working slow with less pressure, and I do upright movement from the bottom line to the top with less pressure on the top. And every time you're making the movement for the new section in the middle of the previous one, remember this, please. Try to do those movements from the central area, from the middle area of your brow toward you. I barely touched the latex. The most important part at the end of the process is that I do all my movements with low pressure. What about the head area? I do not do that like as a square box, because on this type of technique, this type of brow, I usually try to do the powder look. It means that your top area looks softer, look lighter, and you don't do any sharp lines, just shading strokes. Actually, there are three different type of head area of brow. For example, you can make it as a square shape, you can make it as a soft square, or you can make it as a just soft round head area shape. I'm finishing the areas that I think are not perfect, as I told you. If you want to make it differently, just make your own brow. Now I'm going to show you how to make shading strokes in different directions, toward you, from you, and pendulum movement. This knowledge will help you to understand how to achieve the softer result, as softer as you can on your brow area. That's kind of movements. What is first one I was doing on the head area when I rotated the latex, and this actually a kind of two different directions connecting with each other, and they are making the pendulum movement. Last steps to complete our brow. I think we are done. So, a little advice: when you work with the latex, take a look at your final work at arm's length. For instance, while I'm working with the client, in the middle of the performance, I ask her to sit up, or I can stand up and see how it looks like from afar. It really helps me to see the gaps, so you are sure that everything looks perfect. Okay guys, so we are finishing this part and we're on to the next move. I will show you a much softer powder technique. As you can see on this brow, so I'm doing the same as the previous one. I'm starting from the edge of the tail, and one thing what I'm not doing here, the same as in previous one, I'm not spreading my shading strokes from the bottom to the top. I'm spreading them with a pendulum movement with 90 degrees from the bottom to the middle part of the brow. So I don't touch the top part of the brow, because that part, it's important for me right now to make it softer and lighter. The same here on the head area. When you're just shading like closer to the head area, you just need to remember that as much less pressure as you can. Actually, first pass you can even like do not touch the head area, just work. Right now I'm torn my latex, and I start moving from the middle part, from the bottom middle part, like overlapping that with the same movement. Sorry, my camera a little bit need to be adjusted. Yes, thank you. So and remember I showed you that movements like pendulum movements and two movements that they connected with each other, they created the pendulum movement. So from you and towards you. So what I'm doing right now, I just doing like towards me from the bottom to the top, and I don't stuck of the top edge with the needle. I just making every movement as a plane when it goes up. So the same movement what I'm doing right now, and less pressure on the top and the head area as well. So keep clean your latex mat. And what you can see here, so we just, what it seems like transparent part, most of the transparent part is the top area of the brow. So second pass the same, and just keep shading with the same principles. So you just shading from the edge of the tail, going towards you, towards to the head area, from the bottom to the central. After, you need to return the latex and start doing upward movements to yourself. This kind of brow more for those people who like natural look, more natural look. Who just want to enhance their eyebrow look, who just want to enhance or define their brows, or they have, for example, hair on them and just needs to little bit enhance and make little bit, add little bit color. So this brow will fit perfectly. On the head area, the same, less pressure. I just need to finish a few moments on this eyebrow. So you can see here I'm doing diagonal movements, more diagonal movements on this brow than the previous one. I hope everything is clear for you. You can just text me or email to me, and my Instagram is annakara.pmu. Please send me your feedbacks regarding to this video. I'm so happy to help you with all of your questions. The same thing with the head area. Remember, it's up to you. You can choose like from 3 of them. Maybe you're gonna create your own shape of the head area, so you can just choose from the square, or from the soft square, or from the round shape. Okay, so here you can see the 2 different brows with the same, almost the same technique, with shading strokes, and it's really easy to perform when you understand all of these aspects. Okay, bye girls.